It's been a while, and I want to make like a official video about sort of where I've been and what's been going on and all of that, but we're starting with something way more fun. And I'm going to show you through my sketchbook that I finished in July. I posted a short little review onto Instagram TV, but I wanted to do like an actual talk through and walk you guys through it. So this is a Kansan Art Book. It's pretty cheap in terms of sketchbooks. It's just regular old paper. It's really for sketching. It doesn't really take any kind of wet mediums or like Copic markers too well, so it's not something for like refined pieces. It's really a sketchbook, but that's exactly what I was looking for. This is the first page of my sketchbook. The kind of theme, and this is like the cover page, was a messy sketchbook, a place where I could be like free to make mistakes and not feel like I had to show anyone. So a lot of the stuff in here I didn't actually share anywhere on social media. I did post a few, like especially later on there was a few that I was kind of proud of that I did post, but a lot of this I haven't shared anywhere. It was really my sort of safe place to draw without expectations. Because when I started this, I was kind of in a place where I was in this sort of like perfectionist mode, where I was afraid of making mistakes, and it got to the point where I was almost like afraid to put pen down on paper or pencil down on paper because I didn't want it to be bad. So this sketchbook was allowing myself to make mistakes, allowing myself to make a mess, allowing myself to just put things down on paper without any expectation. And I think that it really did help me get past that. And I do want to make a whole video sort of about the sort of no fear sketchbook or messy sketchbook and how important it is to have one. But for now, let's just do a tour. A lot of stuff in here is from reference. There's a lot of life drawing. There's a lot of like referenced from Instagram and Pinterest. So for example, this is referenced from Instagram, a girl Kennedy Dawn. This is referenced from another artist, Maruti Bittman. She did a kind of tea print that I actually own, and I wanted to try it out. This is referenced from a Japanese fashion blogger. So a lot of reference in here, just putting that out there. But I'm a firm believer that you learn a lot more from studying the actual thing than you will from studying sort of other artists. So learning anatomy by actually doing life drawing and studying anatomy will get you a lot further than trying to learn from looking at other artists. So this is referenced from a girl on Instagram, Michelle. These are all sort of life drawing sort of hands that I got off Pinterest. This was fun. I kind of want to revisit this idea of like the three colors overlapping, but like a more finished piece. I think it's a really cool look. So I might try that maybe during Inktober with like 3 different color pens. That would be super fun. These are some landscape drawings, and I did a lot of crayons in here. Crayons are really fun. People should use crayons more. You can actually accomplish quite a lot with crayons in terms of blending. So definitely recommend crayons. Definitely recommend. And anyway, this quote here is kind of like the theme of the sketchbook that I was talking about a few minutes ago. And it really is true. The more you make a mess intentionally, the less you fear doing it accidentally. I think it's so important to just have a place to just put marks on paper without fear of being judged, because I feel like a lot of artists struggle with that. They feel like everything they put on paper has to be a masterpiece, and it really doesn't. Like, you're gonna learn so much more by getting out of your comfort zone and trying things and maybe messing up like horribly, and that's fine. You'll come out a lot stronger of an artist from it, and I definitely found it was true in terms of my more serious pieces. As I was going through this sketchbook, it became a whole lot easier for me to put pencil down on paper without sort of fearing like, oh my god, it needs to be perfect. It kind of helped me get over that sort of expectation block that I had for myself, and I did create it for myself. It wasn't something that I felt like other people were expecting things of me. It was really me holding myself to this perfectionist standard, and it was really unhealthy for me in terms of my art. These were all done in a stream. There's a lot of stuff in here that I did during streams. Streams are super fun for just like doodling and stuff. You can like take requests and everything. I've got a bunch of thumbnails in here. Like this was for a tea witch that I did, turned it into a print. This is the one I ended up going for. Lots of thumbnails in here. More crayon pieces. This is referenced from a photo I found on Pinterest. Life drawing. A lot of these life drawing stuff are kind of taped in out of order. So I kind of like went through and added these in sort of afterwards to fill in space, because I kind of like that sort of filled in space look for sketchbooks. And yeah, lots of messy scribbles. I can't stand any of these faces, but there they are. It's a messy sketchbook. That was referenced from Pinterest as well. This was my first attempt at gouache, maybe. This paper can sort of take gouache if you're really light with the water. If you go too heavy, it does warp and stuff. This is my favorite washi tape ever, by the way. It's like cat butts. It's glorious. This is like a page. I just gotten a brush pen, and brush pens are hard, so I was trying to sort of practice different strokes and practice brush pens. It's still something I really want to get better at. It's another thing I want to focus on during Inktober. More brush pen practice, some studies of plants. This was fun. This was going around last year, the kind of draw your OC in your friend's style. I don't remember exactly what the tag was, but you like draw your character and you try to emulate the style of your friends. So that was super duper fun. And I don't know. I don't, it was fun, but it was really, really hard, especially like some of my friends who do like these really big, like super sparkly eyes, and I just don't. But it was really fun, and it's a cool way to kind of experiment and get out of your comfort zone. Another gouache attempt. I actually like that burb. That's a cool burb. More life drawing. Another attempt at a profile that, ugh, I can't stand it now. I was so proud of this when I drew it, and now I look at it, it's like, no. I think this was actually my first gouache attempt. I tried drawing banana trees. My mom has a banana tree in her backyard, and it looked horrible. I painted it, and I was just gonna use paint, and it just looked like green blobs. So then I added the brush pen, and it still just looks like green blobs, but whatever. You gotta start somewhere. These were all from reference, I believe. This is a medical nurse type thing. It was kind of inspired by those MMO type characters, like the medics. They were always my favorite. I like healers. Healers are fun. And the next few pages are a reference from Alphonse Mucha. Not sure if I'm saying that right, but I got a like big old book filled with his works, and I just really admire how he builds anatomy, and it's like such a natural sort of flowy poses. So these were studies of some of his work, just trying to capture that flow of the anatomy, and that's something I really strive to capture in my anatomy, so definitely a big influence of mine. More brush pen work. These are a bunch of Inktober ideas that I don't even know if I did any of them, but I really like this one. This was actually, I don't know if any of you guys remember my snail girl video, but these were my snail studies, because I didn't know how to draw snails, so I just got a butt ton of pictures on Pinterest of snails and drew them, and it was like one of the most glorious hours of my life, because snails are just the biggest cutie patooties ever. They just have the cutest expressions. I love them so much, and that was the initial sort of thumbnail sketch for it. But anyway, more London stuff, some cute girls. I hate this one, but what can you do? This was actually gearing up to Inktober, I think, so trying out all of my different inks. Again, really didn't take the sort of ink wash very well, but whatever. I kind of like how the eyes really pop out of that. That was super fun. It'd be cool to incorporate more like highlighter yellows and stuff in Inktober. More life drawing. Yay, more life drawing. Seriously though, guys, if you want to get better at anatomy, just do life drawing. Like, study anatomy from the real thing, and you're going to learn so much more about building the body up and the curves and the shapes and everything. And I'm a really big advocate for learning the thing first and then like bending or sort of exaggerating things to get in more like a stylistic look. These are kind of thumbnails for Inktober. This one actually turned into an Inktober piece. That's Elizabeth Bathory. She's kind of a, I don't remember where she's from, but she was a countess or something. And the story is that she sort of killed a bunch of virgins and bathed in their blood to stay young, which is pretty cool. I mean, not cool, but it's spooky as crap. I don't know what that is, but she's grumpy. These were cat studies. Again, I had no idea how to draw cats, so I got a bunch of pictures up on Pinterest and practiced. Really helped. More in Inktober. Thumbnails. That's a butt. Nothing more to say about that. The next few pages are kind of really quick, sort of gestural drawings. Like, I don't think I spent more than a minute on this. I was really in a crappy rut, and I felt like I couldn't draw, so I just, put pencil down, and I gave myself a time limit. So a big fat pencil. Again, big fat pencil. These are all gesture drawings, so you can go onto websites like Line of Action and set the timer to like really short, like a minute or 30 seconds or even less if you're like super talented. I'm not there yet. And it really just kind of gets you past that sort of initial fear of putting things down on paper, because it doesn't need to be perfect. It's just a gesture, and it just gets you past that kind of blockage, you know what I mean? So that's a really good sort of technique to do if you're feeling sort of anxious about drawing, or you're having a hard time getting yourself to draw. It's a really good warm-up technique as well, and also helps with anatomy. These were some little chibis that I drew. She actually turned into a character, and you'll see her later on. I drew her a few times so you can kind of see how she develops. This was from a stream I did with my friend Says. I'll link her Instagram down below. You guys should go check her out. But we did the Pokemon from Memory challenge. So these were all of those. Stream cut out halfway through. That's what happened there. But it was super fun. I think we did pretty good, actually. These were some beach girls, really just a way for me to practice anatomy and really focus on sort of how I exaggerate anatomy. So I definitely do like pull anatomy and exaggerate it, and that's what I really like about drawing, is that you can do that and it's fun. There's a lot of commissioned concepts and ideas in here, so that's what the next couple pages are. I did commissions earlier this year, and concepts. This is that character from back here. Hold on, where is she? So this was like the first development of her. Her name's Dot. She is a little girl who can step through dimensions with her magical sneakers. I really want to draw her more. I have a really bad habit of coming up with OCs and then never drawing them again. So yeah, more commissioned concepts, more commissioned concepts. This was really fun. I was really inspired by Sara Tempest. She does this, like, at least last Inktober, she did this gorgeous like sort of line work, really thin lines, and just cross-hatching and line shading. And it was so darn inspiring, and I really want to work on it more, especially during this Inktober. I hate her face. Let's ignore her face, but the rest of it's cool. Yeah, that's another thing I really want to work on. I think this might have been the only mermaid I did for this year's mermaid. I don't usually do mermaid, but I kind of get sucked in and do one or two. But yeah, so you'll see, like, as I start using Copics in the sketchbook, they do bleed through. Like, they bleed straight through the page, and sometimes they will get on the opposite page underneath as well. So that's the thing if you're looking to get this sketchbook. I didn't really care because it's meant to be a messy sketchbook, so I just used the backs. It kind of creates a cool effect, I think, to have like the sort of background of the previous drawing fading through and then something on top of it. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. More drawings on the back. And a lot of the stuff is out of order, so I kind of went through this one, this one, this one, and then when I got to the end of the sketchbook, I came back and I filled in these sort of page backs. So again, not really chronological. Another version of Dot. This might be my favorite sketch in the whole book. I'm not sure, but it's up there. I really want to kind of like revisit it and make it, like redraw it and make it like an actual piece where I can actually color it, rather than being like on a page back where I can't actually do anything with it. So that one's really fun. I just like the flow and shapes of the body and the hair, and I'm really proud of that one. More commission concepts. This was actually a video that I posted to YouTube's. More commission concepts. These were all referenced from Pinterest. I have a really hard time with faces, so these were all kind of my attempt to learn how faces work. It's still something I need to practice, but I'm the kind of person where I enjoy drawing the body more and anatomy a whole lot more than I like drawing faces, and I usually just default to these really simple eyes closed type faces because I can't be bothered, and I just want to like focus on the anatomy and the flow of the body. But it is something I need to keep working on, so that's something I need to do more. That's just a reminder to myself to do it more. These are more pose studies. Some of them are from Pinterest, some of them are just from my mind. More reference stuff from Pinterest. So this one is the start of my Hogwarts house series. I drew a girl for each Hogwarts house, and this is Ravenclaw. That's my house. It's actually my favorite, I think, of all of them, but I guess I'm a little biased because I'm a Ravenclaw. This was actually started as a commission concept sketch, but didn't make the cut, so I decided to color it because I liked it anyway. I guess I did two things for Mermaid this year, but I don't know, she's like glaring so angrily at her hand, and I don't know why, but you know, just let her be her. Let her be her. She can be angry at her hand. This is more sort of Pinterest concept or Pinterest reference stuff. More life drawing. This is the Slytherin Girl. This was actually a concept for a piece I did for Copic Colors back in April, I think. Ended up being totally different from that, but the initial idea was there. More life drawing, more life drawing. Some concepts, Sailor Moon Plant Mom. More just drawings on the back of things. Another version of Dot. This was, I think, when I hit 70K on Instagram to celebrate that. And this one was pretty fun. I actually changed up the way I built the anatomy with this one. So usually when I'm drawing and I'm creating a pose or a body, I use circles and sort of ovals and round shapes. But for this one, I built it almost entirely out of squares instead of circles, and it created like a totally different shape to what I'm used to working with. And it was really fun. So it's a cool way to kind of experiment with different body shapes and different poses and see what kind of sort of different effects you can get with poses, is to just change up the shapes that you're using. So use straight lines instead of curves, use squares instead of circles, use triangles, like, I don't know, play with it. It's fun. Little Witch Beans, some girls with plants. This one was really fun. I liked doing this one. That's my OC London, which I finally drew again. I need to draw her more. Hufflepuff. And it's just a little doodle that I did on the back. I've been really enjoying this kind of simple style with just like dots for eyes. It's kind of refreshing when you're feeling kind of overwhelmed with art and you don't want to do anything too crazy, but you want to draw. So that's been kind of what I've been doing when I'm in those phases. And then the last girl that I did for Hogwarts was Gryffindor. I'm really happy with how this one turned out. And then this is my last page. I wanted to use the last page of the sketchbook to revisit the first page and kind of use it as a way to see how much I've grown. So I redrew her. This is definitely like some things I'm not happy with. Like this looks a little awkward, the neck, shoulder, head area. But I mean, I think I improved a bit. I mean, I hope I did. It was a whole year worth of sketchbooks. But yeah, so that was really fun. It was a cool way to end the sketchbook, and I think I might do that from now on, just to kind of like close out the sketchbook. And well, technically this is the last page, but it was like a swatch page. So I did all these swatches, and I didn't want to like waste the page, so I drew something on it and kind of brought up some of the bubbles to kind of incorporate it into the piece. I don't know. And that was it. That's like more than a year's worth of sketching and doodling and complete messiness in one video. I hope you guys liked it. I know it's definitely like pretty messy, and there's a lot of not so great stuff in here, but whatever. The old me would have totally cringed about putting this out on the internet, but I don't know. I'm kind of embracing messiness in my style, and I think, you know, it's okay to make pieces that aren't perfect. It's okay to make pieces that you're not proud of. It's okay to make a total mess on paper with art supplies that you don't know how to use. You know, everything you draw does not need to be perfect, and this sketchbook kind of taught me that. And I hope that it helped you guys a little bit, or at least it was entertaining. So let me know what you think, and now that I'm getting back into YouTube, let me know if there's any like videos that you want to see. I have some ideas lined up. I'm going to be trying out some gouache from Arteza, so that'll be super fun. And I have some other ideas that I want to cover, but if you guys have anything you want to see from me, let me know. I'm going to start making a list and going through them, and it'll be really, really fun, and I'm excited to be back. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!